Hey, hope you're well. Hope you're as well. Hope you're AV. Hope you're gravy. I finished watching Invincible season 1. That season finale was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, was it yesterday? I think yesterday on this first season. I don't know. Like my mixed impressions of the show. That last episode was pretty good. Pretty crazy. If you haven't watched Invincible, I don't know if it's like something like super recommend. It's just based off of my own impression, but maybe you like it. A lot of people like it. I mean, I've been hearing about it for a long time. I've been hearing about it for a long time, so I was just like, okay, I need to check it out. And yeah, I think it's got some good moments. It's got some great moments. That last episode, man. Here's what I'll say if you haven't watched it. I think the last episode makes it worth it of season 1. Just watching, I don't know if I'd ever just watch the last episode. I think I need context. I wouldn't just skip the prior episodes and watch the last one, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. But I'd say watching the whole thing makes the last episode, watching the last episode makes watching the whole thing worth it. There's some good moments before that as well. It's just little things for me personally that I was just like, eh. But that's just my take though. There was one particular thing that really was like, what the hell? When, it's a spoiler alert, I guess. When Mark reveals his identity, reveals his secret that he's a superhero and reveals that to Amber. Amber's reaction was just shocking to me, man. Because she was like, her issue with him, that he's always late to things. He always has excuses for why he's not available for stuff. And she was just really, really mad about that. She's like, what are you hiding? What are you doing? Like, why can't I depend on you? Whatnot. Meanwhile, he's a superhero. He's a whole superhero. And he's just like, before, there was a point where there's this other girl called Eve. She's a superhero, and she told Mark, him, like, you better be serious about this Amber girl, because if you tell her your identity, like if you tell her that you're a superhero, there's no going back. That's a big thing to reveal. When you're a superhero, you want to keep your identity secret, otherwise people will come for you and your family and your friends. You can't just be out just telling anyone. You can't be reckless like that. Unless you're like Stark and everyone around you can afford security, all that sort of stuff. It's just not wise to be televising to your enemies that this is who I am, this is where I live, this is where I go to school, this is my mom and my dad, yada yada. It's like you really, really want to keep your identity a secret. Which is the whole explanation for like because a lot of these heroes in Invincible and other superhero stories, they just walk around with their bare faces for everyone to see. And the explanation they always give is always so stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. They always say, "Oh, so in Invincible they say like if you're not looking for a superhero, you won't see one." That's the excuse Eve gave for why no one in her high school recognizes her as Adam Eve. That's her superhero name. Because she doesn't wear a mask. She just walks around, doesn't change anything. You can see that it's her, and she's like, well, like in their minds, they don't expect me to be her, so they don't think I'm her. That doesn't make any sense. If I saw this chick on the news, so I'm like, I'll be, isn't that Eve? Isn't that Eve? That just doesn't make any sense. That excuse. So no, I don't buy it at all. You have to wear a mask for it to be believable. They try that with Superman and whatnot. It doesn't work, guys. It's so obviously that person that you will recognize them immediately, especially if they're close to you. Especially if they're close to you, it's like, what? That's Eve. And you see her coming to school acting normal. I'm like, explain yourself. I saw you on the news running around, and she's gonna be, I'm like, bitch, I know it's you. Anyway, it's not wise for your identity to be out there if you're just a whole superhero. So Eve was telling Mark, you have to be very serious about this girl if you want to tell her. So Mark was hesitant, understandably so. He starts dating this girl, and he's not telling her. I think the relationship went for 5 months without telling her. So the whole time she's confused, apparently confused about why he's always late. And when things get like to the point where he can no longer keep it a secret because it's like starting to affect the relationship in serious ways because he just keeps missing things. He's just not available for a lot of stuff. It just becomes a breaking point, and he's like, okay, I have to. I either just keep quiet and I lose her, or I tell her, and yeah. So he decides to finally tell her. And her reaction was so trash, bro. She's like, oh, I already knew. I was just waiting for you to finally tell. And then she's like, and she wasn't happy. And she was like, just leave. I don't care. I can't believe you were lying to me this whole time. Yada, yada, yada. Get lost. Like, she was so rude and it was crazy, bro. The reaction was crazy to me. And I was just like, man, fuck this bitch. Eve herself was like to me, like, oh, you strung her along for 5 months. You strung her along for 5 months. I'm like, you're the one. I'm like, you're the one who said he needs to be sure before he tells her. Like, guys, it's not a normal situation. It's not like he's hiding the fact that he's a YouTuber with 500,000 subs and his channel is doing really well, but he's kind of embarrassed or he doesn't like telling people whatnot. That's not the kind of secret he's keeping. He's keeping a secret that he's a superhero and he has enemies that will kill everyone he loves if he just shares his secret willy-nilly with anyone. That's not a smart thing. Like, they're making it sound like it's just like, he doesn't know this bitch. He's been dating for 5 months. You can't just, like, tell her that. Like, bro, it was driving me insane. And the writers of the show, they framed it like Mark was the asshole. But, like, realistically, if that was to happen, like, in real life, that would be insane, bro, to have that reaction that Amber had. It would be genuinely like, are you, like, yeah, no, I can't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. I really don't like Amber as a character in general. I feel like Eve is a much better option. I hate that they're making Amber the love interest. Maybe they'll break up or something. Because I feel like there's something between Mark and Eve anyway. I could see something going on. Mark and Eve become a thing, and Amber, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm just thinking, yeah, I don't like her, to be honest. To be real, I really don't like her. But that reaction was just crazy to me, man. And then some crazy stuff happens after she comes running back to Margot. Oh my God, are you okay? Well, those are crazy incident that happened, right? Where, so this is before. I think this is before like he revealed his identity to her. Where he almost died. He got his stomach burst open, like blood spewing everywhere. They had to be rescued. It was bad. He almost died, but she doesn't know that he just survived. She actually does know because she was lying the whole time that she didn't. Then that's another thing. She was playing along as if she didn't know. If she knew that this guy was a superhero, she should have confronted him. Because a person with a brain would know why he's keeping that a secret, and should just be like, look, you can tell. Actually, you're kind of entitled to have that opinion. Like, you should trust me. He said, why? Like, we've just started dating. Why should I trust you? Like, we just started. It's not like we're married or anything like that. Like, we just started. It's just been a few months. Relax. Like, that's a guy. It's not. I'm not hiding the fact that my dad is the president of Mercedes Benz. I'm not. That's not the secret I'm keeping from you. It's like I'm a superhero. There's serious consequences if I just tell you. Just tell you this sort of stuff. Like, and then you're involved in that world as well. Because once you walk around that knowledge, you're a target. You become a target. So I have to be very careful who I tell. Regardless, she knew. She should have confronted him and been like, I know, so you don't have to hide it from me anymore. You don't have to play this game. I know. Can you please just not do this whole thing where you go and I don't know where you are and you're not really telling me anything. I know. I figured it out. She should have. That's what a mature person would have done. Or you just wait for him to tell you. You just wait for him to work up the courage to tell you, which he eventually did. But that's because of a lot of pressure from her as well. She was being very childish. And eventually it was just like, oh, I'll tell him. But you could have helped him get to that point. There would have been other ways to help him work up the confidence to tell you. Being bratty and mean about it, that was not. I didn't like that at all. But anyway, he gets really, really, really hurt to the point where he almost died. He would have died if it wasn't for a lot of medical intervention. And then he shows up and he's asking her for forgiveness for not, because he missed something because he was busy dying. He almost died because he was helping someone, and he almost died as a result. So then he shows up, I'm sorry I missed this thing, busy begging for forgiveness. and she's like, okay, I guess I forgive you. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, bro. That was just so insane to me. He doesn't need your forgiveness, and you know why he was gone. Because the quote-unquote official reason they gave why he was so injured and whatnot was because you got hit by a bus. Even in that scenario, if someone misses something important because they got hit by a fucking bus, I think that's a great excuse to not be there. He does not need your forgiveness for getting hit by a bus. He doesn't need to make up with you. You need to be like, oh my God, are you okay? What do you need? Or don't mention it. Don't worry about it. That's not important right now. Just glad you're okay. That's the reaction. Like, not okay. I guess it's okay. I guess we can put it behind us. It's like, what? Yeah, this character is just wild to me. It's just insane, the behavior. Um, but yeah, he tells her the identity. He's a superhero. She's still like, oh, I don't care because I already knew, and I just you didn't tell me. And then okay, they kind of break up sort of, and then some wild stuff happens between him and his dad. I feel like have I spoiled it? I'm sorry. I won't spoil anymore, just in case you want to watch it. I won't say anymore. But basically, some very crazy things happen. Some very crazy things happen, and then she runs back saying, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Da, 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 da. And now she wants to be in a relationship again. And this fool, I mean, it's also on Mark as well because I mean, look, he's written that way, but like realistically, if you're getting back with a girl like that off of everything and you're still taking a break, that's also kind of on you. It is on you, not kind of. That's 100% on you. Like, why are you taking her back? You need to reject her. Bro, like, Eve is such a. I don't know if she's a much better option. That's it. Eve is a better option than Amber, okay? Go be with Eve instead. You're much happier. She's a superhero too. Like, y'all just get each other on the same page. There's an understanding there. He takes her back, which is just so upsetting to me. And it just got me thinking about, like, if I was a superhero, I would need someone who's, because you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Mary Jane from Spider-Man 2 the game. Spider-Man 2 the game. She makes everything about herself. And, you know, a big thing that was just so silly to me. It was such a big part of the story is how Mary Jane feels so insecure because Spider-Man gets all this attention and she's like, I'm not just Spider-Man's girlfriend. I want to be front and center too. And they make you play as her. They force you to play as Mary Jane. And you play. It was so like, it was so annoying because it's a Spider-Man game and you're playing as Spider-Man's girlfriend and they give her a taser. And it was just so unbelievable that these people that have been training their whole lives as killers are getting taken out by this journalist with a taser. And the excuse they gave is that she received training, like a few months training from this private military group, and therefore now she's an expert in combat and can take out lifelong killers. It's so insane, bro. But anyway, Mary Jane was a playable character. Oh my gosh, bro. Who makes these decisions? Oh, anyway. There was several segments where you're just forced to play as her. And she was just making everything about herself. And she wanted to be front and center and whatnot. And she was getting into so many arguments with Peter and making him feel terrible and whatnot. He's just constantly apologizing. I'm sorry. And I was just thinking, like, if you're a superhero, if you feel like someone like Spider-Man, there's so much on his shoulders. You don't need all that stress. You need Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy is superior to Mary Jane in every way. At least how she's depicted in the comics, right? She's a lot more easygoing, a lot more supportive, and likable as a character. She doesn't have this, at least in the iterations I've seen, I'm sure there's some version of Gwen Stacy that's annoying as well. But just generally the way she was depicted, she just seemed like a very likable character and easygoing. She didn't get too much stress. Again, based on the iterations of her that I've encountered. And that's what you need. You don't need someone stressing you out. You need someone that's being a cheerleader, someone that's just understands the dynamic. It's not a normal relationship, right? It's like you're constantly fighting world-ending threats. You're watching people die. You want like there's so much on your shoulders. When you come home, the last thing you need is someone doing this. Well, there's only so much a person can take before they fucking snap. you know, before they lose their shit. It's like you don't need all that. Your life is already unbelievably stressful. So a guy like Spider-Man would need someone who gives him peace. And she understands her role in that relationship, like support him in every way you can and just make sure that he's happy. And like you have to put things into perspective. If you're Mary Jane, yeah, you might be dealing with the fact that your boss didn't give you a promotion or all of this stuff. And look, it is important to you, and you know, we don't want to diminish people's problems, but at the same time, you have to put it into perspective. Is now really the time to be coming to him about this when he just watched like a bus full of people get dropped into the ocean or something? You know, like yeah, maybe I have it pretty easy compared to him. Like you really need perspective. So I feel like the way that a lot of these writers frame these superhero relationships is fundamentally flawed because they make it seem like any other normal relationship, but it's not. You know, they'll try and explore like the complications of being a superhero while dating and the sacrifices you have to make and all this. So it's not like, let me be fair, and it's not like they depicted it completely like a normal relationship, but they don't address that part of it because they try and make it like a thing of like our problems are the same and I need to be considering every little problem you have. But you can't, you just logically you can't when you're thinking about some pretty wild stuff that most normal people never have to think about. Imagine what it's like going to sleep as a Peter Parker or any of these people when they witness the sort of things they witness. It's hard, man. So you need someone that's just there to like give you peace. That's why I girl like Amber, like in this Invincible series, she just would not work, man. I don't even know if dating Eve will work because it's like she understands, but it's like I don't know. I feel like you're too similar at that point, and also like I feel like you'd just both be super busy. You'd be superheroes, both of you, constantly gone, and there's also the risk that one of you's not coming home and all that sort of stuff. I think that would be too chaotic. I don't know if I'd date a superhero if I was a superhero myself. I just want a normal girl who just does normal shit. I come home and she's there and she's just like, I'm like, oh, yes. I have something to look forward to, something normal to look forward to in life. You know, they can go on dates and whatnot and just have peace, and she just tells me about normal things that she's going through. And we're just, you know, when I'm with her, I'm relaxed. I feel like, yeah, like Mary Jane and Amber, like girls like this, they just be problems, bro. They'll just be problems. But yeah, I feel like that superhero that would be very interesting. There's so many angles you'd have to explore. That'd be so complicated, but a lot of interesting questions get posed. Maybe not everyone agrees with that take. I don't know, but I think that's just a practical reality. You know another practical thing is like Mark. So Mark's dad is a superhero as well, and he's supposed to go to Mars for a mission, but he's like, no, I want to stay with my wife. I don't want to go to Mars. Let someone else handle that. That please, you need to go to Mars. Like, he's like, I don't want to. But then his son is like, I'm available. Let me do it. And then Mark's dad is like, no, you're not going to Mars. What are you talking about? You're not ready to go to Mars. So there's a government agent and Mark's mom side against Mark's dad and say, Mark, if you want to go, you should go. I thought that was kind of crazy because first of all, Mark is 17, he's still technically a child. sending him to Mars on his own, without his parents or without his dad, rather, to protect him, is wild. And for the mom to be like, you can do what you want. Da, 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 da. I'm like, man, that's actually high key like irresponsible. I'm just being practical. I understand it's fiction, whatever, whatever. I'm just like realistically, um, but yes, he has powers and he can take care of himself and all these sort of things. But he's flying to Mars. It's very far away. You don't know where he's gonna be, what he's gonna be doing, what threats he's gonna be facing. What do you mean it's his choice? He's a child. Like he has to go to he has to go to school because if the superhero thing doesn't work out, like he might want to do something else with his life. So like it wouldn't be a good thing for him to flunk out of school because he's gonna because of the whole superhero thing, his grades have been dipping and all that. And like I was just like, yeah, no, that's kind of crazy. And look, I have a more traditional perspective on a man's role in his house and family. I just thought it was wild that Omni-Man is Mark's father. I just thought it was wild that Omni-Man can be this superhero who has all this authority outside, but inside his own home he has no authority, which is just so wild to me. And again, it's more so about his status and the fact that he's a leader outside of the house, but in his own home, he's not a leader. His wife constantly just says, like, no, we're not doing that. It's just like, oh my gosh, bro. And it's like, it doesn't, some of the decisions just don't make sense. Because of the plot and whatnot, things have to go in that direction because of the plot, but just practically, it's like, no, he's right. You can't send a child to Mars by himself. Like, he's not ready. Logically, he's right. And she was looking at it more from an emotional perspective, like, oh, you're your own person. You need to do what you want if you want to do it. It's like, no. When he's an adult and he moves out, he can do what he wants. Not while he's under my roof. It just doesn't make sense for him to be going to do this. It's so dangerous. It's unbelievably dangerous. Oh my gosh, bro. I was getting so heated, bro, watching some of these details in the show. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I guess it's just a difference in worldview and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, a lot of these choices are not choices I would make. I'm ranting about a show. It's not real. None of it's real. But it does pose interesting questions. So here I am discussing them. I wanted to say, like, just because I'd actually written notes when I get super into, like, when I get like really into like I end up writing notes and stuff. And one of the notes I wrote here, some of these things I don't think I can say because people just get upset at me. But people are probably already upset at me, but one of the things, I was just like, this is so dumb. So Nolan, who's Mark's father, Omni-Man, he says Mark doesn't understand the depth of his responsibilities. Right now, he thinks this is all fun games. He thinks being a superhero is a game. Because, he just got his powers, he feels very cool, and he has a very high opinion of himself. He has a very high opinion of himself. He's not ready to go to Mars. No, he must not go. So this government agent and he, Mark's mom side against Nolan and say no, he must go in there. And his wife says he's 17. He's never had responsibilities before, therefore he must take on these new responsibilities so that he can have big responsibilities. So her big idea, right? And again, the writers in their minds, this just makes sense because it's a difference in worldview. The writers, maybe not. I mean, they might not agree with this worldview. They, the way it's framed, more likely than not, they probably believe that shit is true. But you never know what someone really thinks. It's just a show at the end of the day. But yeah, more often than not, it's a reflection of what the person might be thinking themselves, just considering how it was framed. But anyway, she says he's never had responsibilities before, so we need to give him responsibilities. So the thing she wants to start with is sending him to Mars to do a mission that was meant for his father, who is way more experienced and powerful than Mark is. It's not even close. Omni-Man is the guy. He's Earth's most powerful superhero. Mark is nowhere near him, at least in his current stage. And that mission was meant for Omni-Man. Again, different levels. And they're like, send Mark. It's okay, just send Mark. It's like, no. Don't send Mark. Now, look, the mission itself turned out to not be that deep. It was like it really wasn't much. Well, actually, there's something that happened that's going to have implications in later seasons, and more likely than not, people are going to die as a result. And the question is, would that have happened if Omni-Man was there? Because Mark was sleeping on the job, and as a result of him sleeping, he lost sight of people he's supposed to be protecting, and I think that's going to have a whole bunch of negative consequences that might not have taken place if Omni-Man was there, because he's just more experienced and knows what he's doing. But I digress. Her big idea was to send him to Mars as his first big responsibility, which is so insane, bro. So yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I tend to take the viewpoint of men should be in charge of their homes, because men tend to be less emotional, more pragmatic. Take that how you will. Take that how you will. But that's just my viewpoint. And yeah, man, the considerations men make just tends to be it's just more calculated. So I do think Nolan should be allowed to have the final say and be like, no, we're not doing that. That's crazy. We're not doing it. And then that's that. Siding with a government agent over your husband is crazy to me. Look, the story is what it is. I'm just like more so exploring like the more higher concepts that connect with reality, because things happen that way because they're supposed to, because it services the plot and so on and so forth. But I'm just more so looking at it from how does this connect to real life kind of perspective. I definitely think fathers should be able to lead, and it's very important that they do, because a well-integrated man, so a guy who's on his shit, he's focused, he's done the work to make sure that he's a responsible adult. A man like that is 100% qualified to lead his household, and he will do the best job. Between him and his wife, he will do the best job. 50-50 doesn't work in that scenario. Now, if he's a bum, if he's silly and irresponsible, yeah, you don't want that guy making big decisions, of course. That's why it's important to pick properly. But just from Nolan is an interesting character. I'll say that much. But just from a superhero perspective, he knows his stuff when it comes to the superhero stuff, and he should 100% have a say in that. Like she should have no authority on that subject. They try and frame it like she taught Nolan how to be a superhero and all these sort of things and whatnot. She kind of did to an extent, but there's just practical things she could never know. Like practically, there's no way she could know what it's like that she should have no say over. Like sending him to Mars, like all of a sudden she's this person who knows what that entails. No, she doesn't. Like that motherly advice, it doesn't work. It's not going to help him in Mars. Your motherly advice is not going to save him from aliens who want to kill him. Like, you can't. My mom said that we all need to get along and aliens will, oh, your mom said that? That's crazy. So sorry, bro. We'll do better next time. Sorry for trying to kill you. No, that's not how it's going to go. They'll kill you anyway. And they'll kill your mom. So you need to. There's just some things that she doesn't know what she's talking about, and Nolan should 100% be in charge of that area. Okay, he's an interesting character, so maybe there's some things he shouldn't have any say in as well. But that's one area he should 100% have authority over. But yeah, anyway. Let me know if you think about it. That's just my opinion. Curious to see what you think of that. I like to pray that I'm curious to. Dear Father God, I thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making him whole, unique, and guiding on the path towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with a wonderful view of life, love them, take care of them, bring the absolute best out of them. Thank you for maintaining ones who are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage, and staying in love and marriage, and making him very, very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for all the wonderful things in their life, and make giving thanks and find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your presence be following this person's life, so let your God, let your will, let your love, and always be there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness over this person, everyone that care about you, man, we're praying Jesus' name. Amen.